Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast. I mean, no, not the Cup TV, the Cup Ringside, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things WWE. I've been doing multiple podcasts, so yeah, that happens sometimes. But we are here talking Night of Champions. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Didn't grab anything to drink, wasn't that thirsty, but I did grab my cup mug. And you can get your cup mug at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period.
And I am Topher, here to break down a show that was not at night in America, a show that did not feature every champion, a show that did not feature every champion, but yet nonetheless, it was a night of champions. Not the results that I would have wanted at all, not the results that I predicted at all. But we did get some story. We were heavy on story, and we will break down that story.
Yes, yes, we will. We actually will. I like that you brought up the fact that you did not get any of the predictions. You didn't predict any of these outcomes, or not most of these outcomes.
Mostly,
Most
I think I
most
got
of
one or
the
two.
yeah, I it's interesting. I wasn't here for the prediction show. Thanks to Brooke and Topher for stepping in because I was traveling that day. But I watched it when I got to where I was going. And I found it amusing. I found it very amusing as I listened to that podcast. I was like, oh, they are going against everything that I am going for. Like every prediction, it was like me and Topher said this. Oh, and Lana did this. I mean, it was good predictions. I understand why you did that, Lana. I understand why you did that. But I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, yep, everything. Everything I did, everything I said, it was I mean, I get why you did it, but I'm not gonna do that. And you know what happens? You know what happens when you do that? You lose. Because the queen recedes. The queen is queen. The crown is back where it should have been. Brooke isn't here, but I'm snatching that crown away from Brooke. Brooke is no longer the queen of the cup. That goes back to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am the queen of the cup. Because I won this hands down. Like there was no question who was winning this. I got 5 out of the 6 matches correct, and 5 out of the 6. So I am the queen of the cup. I'm snatching my crown from Brooke. So I will be holding on to this reign to the next queen and king and queen of the tournament. So yeah, that when that happens. But I'm just saying, thanks to you, thank you, thank you. Don't go against the queen. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, thank you. But, but enough about that. Let's get into it. But wait, well, let's not get into it because before we do, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, you have it. If you haven't heard about us, that's fine. You're here now. Hit the subscribe button. We are on a mission here at the Cup Network. All 4 of our channels included are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So we would love, love, love if you would help us out and subscribe. If you are a fan of WWE wrestling, this is what we're talking about here. This is our jam. So if this is something that you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. And we have 3 other channels that you can subscribe to. All those links will be in the description below if you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, if you're a fan of competitive reality television, and if you are a fan of drag and drag race. We have 3 other channels for you. So hit the link in the description and click on it and subscribe to all of those channels, but subscribe to this one first. Also, if you need to listen to us on the go, we have our audio podcast links. It is down in the description below as well. So click that, listen to us on the go. We're just as fun on audio as we are in video. So check us out. And our Patreon is open. We got a lot of fun things going on our Patreon. All our Patreon includes things from all 4 of our channels. So if you really want to just some inside things that we just talk about that maybe or maybe not end up on the channel, check out our Patreon. We have a lot of fun things. You get to know us as panelists and things that's going to all happen back there. So check it out. And then, of course, join also follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. All those places we are there, and we would love, love, love if you would join us on those places as well. Now, enough of all this chitter chatter. Let's get into what you all came here to see. Night of Champions. Tober, this was a night, like you said, even though it wasn't night for us. Some championships were defended, not all of them.
Not all of them.
I mean, we saw champions sitting in the audience, and I was like, this just feel weird.
And
It just feel weird.
and not every match had a championship implication. Like
No,
that
no,
also felt weird.
felt weird.
There was actually, I mean, if you don't count the King and Queen of the Ring as championships, there was only
Mhm.
2 titles defended.
Yep, yep. And I find that weird
Yeah,
for a night of champions.
I like the concept of Night of Champions. I like the idea that it's like the buck stops here. Everybody's going to need to defend their title. You have to
Yes,
come here and you have to, give it up. I understand that we are in the day and age to where we only have so many matches on the card. But
right,
why not just go with King and Queen of the Ring? And then you don't have to worry about that implication or not even like false advertisement really, but just
right.
like not the, it's kind of like if you were to have Survivor Series and
Yeah,
no longer feature a
yeah,
Survivor
yeah.
Series matchup, you know?
That bothers my whole soul because I'm like, even if we're
We-
going, even if we're going to do this night of champions, shouldn't we just have the champions so you can slim down the shows? Because you're saying you have too many championships to.
Mhm.
Then how about this? We have the Raw Tag Team Champions go against the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. It's not
Yes,
for a match. It's not for the belts
but
per se, but it's the champions versus the champions.
that would be fun. That would be
I
fun
mean,
because we're not doing that at Survivor Series
we're
anymore.
not doing that. So, because it's about war games. So, we just make Night of Champions what Survivor Series
Right.
used to be. So, you give us John Cena versus Gunther at Night of Champions. That'd be fun. You give us the Street Profits against
Right.
who's over there at Raw?
New Day
New Day. That'd be fun.
at the time of
But
this recording.
at the time of this recording, it'd be fun. Give us Tiffany against EO. That'd be fun.
Right.
That'd be like
Period.
this. And then when you have your mid cards, have your United States champion versus your Intercontinental
Well,
champions.
last year they introduced a thing called the Crown Jewel Championship. So Crown Jewel is right there, but we're not even doing Crown Jewel.
We don't do nothing
Sunday.
with that. We don't do nothing with that.
We're
We ain't.
going to Australia for Crown Jewel. What are we
So
doing?
it's. Uh,
Oh,
I don't
what's
know what is
next? We're gonna have a
happening.
Rumble in Saudi.
Oh, wait. We already done that. We've done that. We've done
And
that.
we may end up getting 2 WrestleManias next year.
What is happening here?
We're just doing it. We're just throwing
We just
everything against the wall. We're giving Saudi Arabia everything that they want. And you know what? But you know what? I will give Saudi Arabia this. This is the best Saudi crowd they have ever had.
I said the same thing. I said, "Oh, the Saudis are lit. This is new for us. Like we've never had a good Saudi crowd, even though we'll talk about them because y'all got some issues, Saudi, and I got an issue with y'all. But just it was one of the better crowds that we've seen from Saudi. I
Mhm.
was like, that's not. I guess they tired of getting the reputation of being a bad crowd.
Well, I think what it is that they have now been in Saudi for almost 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
2016 was the first Saudi show. And since then, I think they've amassed a fan base. Unfortunately, I don't think that they get exposed to the women as
Hmm.
much.
Yeah.
So I think that's where a lot of problems lie.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's very sad,
Very
but
sad.
we'll get to that when we get there.
let's jump into it then. Let's get into our first match. That I was very shocked this was the first match of the night, to be honest. But Randy Orton and versus Cody Rhodes for the King of the Ring tournament final, and was shocked this was the first match, but I was so happy this was the first match because
Yeah,
this was a banger of a match. It told story, gave us conflict and angst and wanting to be something and fighting against something and this was one of my favorite Cody Rhodes matches, I will say, because I don't really particularly like a lot of Cody Rhodes matches. I like Cody, but I'm not a huge Cody
that's
Rhodes
a
fan.
hot
Everybody
take.
knows that. I know that's a hot take. I get it. I get it. I'm not a huge fan. I like Cody. I think Cody's great, but I'm not a huge fan of watching, his matches or whatever. And I don't ever feel like it's a lot of. mm, I mean, I think the matches that I really, really, really liked was him and AJ. I thought that was a great feud. The Roman second time around, I thought that was great. Um, but I thought this one was really, really good. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I was very much on the edge of my seat, but that might have to do with the fact that I just love Randy Orton. I'm just like a sucker for Randy Orton. Anything Randy Orton do, I'm just like, yes.
Mm.
Yes, yes, give me more. So I love Randy Orton, and so I think him and Cody with this match and the history that they have, I just loved it. I loved their dynamic. I loved their energy. I loved how they just went at it. This is a really good match. I was on edge when Randy was thinking about going for the punt and he was debating if he should do it or not. And it's like, she could do it. And then he goes to do it, and Cody moves. I was like, this is so good. Like, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this match thoroughly.
So I love this. I wish we would have had a bigger build to this match. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? To
Again.
give away this match as the King of the Ring final, I feel like is a little disappointing because you kind of went into it with no real build, even though they have so much history together that it really could have told a great story. I actually disagree with you on the fake out of the punt thing, and it's not even Randy Orton's fault. It's the fact that I feel like this is like the third or fourth time in the last like 2 months we've had somebody go for something and then second guess themselves. I don't know. Cody in the WrestleMania
Hmm.
main event goes
Hmm.
to go hit him with the belt and is like, oh, maybe not. You know, John
Hmm.
Cena, the previous event, goes to go with the belts and then decides, oh, maybe not. And it's like this is now the third time that we're using that same story mechanic where you're like second guessing yourself in the match. Like Randy Orton is a veteran, and when Randy Orton is in match mode, it does not matter who you are. Like he's kind of in the same school of like Steve Austin, where it's like, I don't care. I don't have like sympathy for you when I'm in the ring. I'm gonna stone cold stun you. And I wish there would have been, this is where a build would have been nice
Hmm.
because they could have laid into the fact that how dangerous the punt is and
Hmm.
the fact that it was like something that hey, may the best man win, I'm not going to hurt you or whatever. If they would have like played that up and then oh my god, like even if on commentary this is where maybe Michael Cole or Wade Barrett missed an opportunity because they said, oh no, he's going to punt him, this could take Cody Rhodes out of action for months if he does this, don't do that, Randy, don't go that far. And then he second guesses himself. Instead he just kind of looked silly in my opinion to like stop. I it's not that him, it's not anything he did. I think there lacked the support for it happening. You
Hmm.
needed to make it make sense. Why did he just stop? you know
Right.
so but all in all, I thought Randy Orton was about to win the match several times. Oh, and the other thing that I have to rant about, Cody Rhodes finisher sucks. It never beats anybody. He's either got to do it 3 times, everybody kicks out right after the first crossroads. Give this man another finisher. Am I right?
I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know if you're going to be a finisher if your finisher has to be done 3 times to get somebody
Right.
down. Like that's not really a finisher. It's yeah, I don't. I mean, that's like, cause see, like Eddie Guerrero never finished with the Three Amigos. That was just something you did mid
Yeah,
match too. So I feel like if you're going to do the crossroads 3 times, it doesn't need to be a finisher. It needs to be something you do mid match just to make people go, oh, I'm a little
right.
dizzy, woozy. But I agree, he does need a new finisher, something that's going to just say. I mean, I feel like the Cody Cutter is probably better than a than a cross. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's
I
just
love the
it.
Cody Cutter. I
I
love the
like the Cody
disaster
Cutter.
kick.
Right, something else. Work on it. Work on it, Cody. Shop a new finisher that's going to actually finish somebody. Like I don't want to see somebody do their finisher several times to get somebody down. It shouldn't be.
Correct.
But Cody does win this match. Um, like I said, good match overall. I thought it was. I do think this match should have been a SummerSlam match. I think this match should have been SummerSlam. And like you said, a build up where they're talking about their history. They're talking about how um, Cody and Ted DiBiase kicked Randy out. Randy could still have a little bitterness about being kicked out of Legacy.
Yeah,
And like a whole lot of stuff could have happened where they could have built this up where it wasn't just babyface versus babyface. The crowd likes both of them. It's just like we could have done something. Like I like heel Randy Orton as much as I love face Randy Orton. I love heel Randy Orton because that's the man who does not care. He's the legend killer for a reason. He does not care. I don't like what I don't like is I don't like when he has to second guess himself on a punt. Just do it.
right.
I want Randy to get back to that, and I feel like maybe we could still see that even with Cody. I think we could still have a build-up match because the way Randy walked out of that ring, I don't think this is over. And I'm like, okay with it not being over. I need Randy to do that shift in his head, the voices in his head start talking, and he has that shift because that's when Randy Orton is his best. That's when he's the most dangerous. That's when I enjoy him the most, is when he's calculated, when he's slithering around there, when he's just
Hmm.
focused and like you said in match mode and not doing anything else and just he would never hesitate on a punt. If he's gonna punt you, he's just gonna do it. And I don't want to see hesitation anymore. But I agree with you on that. But yeah, I still enjoyed this match overall.
Very good. I would get, what are we giving it? 4 stars? Let's get four
Four
stars.
star.
Yeah, four.
Yeah, we get 4 stars. It was a good match. Up next we did have the Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in their street fight. What do you think about the street fight?
This was actually really good. This was really entertaining. I loved the spot where they did the over the barricade through the announce table things.
Hmm.
Like that was really cool and innovative. I felt like they really went there and that this was not just a good match for a women's street fight. Like this was a really good street fight. Um, and we knew Roxanne was going to get involved. We knew
Absolutely.
we knew that was going to happen, and that's okay. I think they still told a really good story with that. And I did not know until the video package how much history was between Raquel
Right.
and Rhea. Like that was incredible. Talk about again, like why did we not build this more? This seems very thrown together last minute. It felt like Liv Morgan is out, let's throw Raquel in when they
Mhm.
actually had a reason to be beefing.
All right.
Like it did feel like that's, I think, my biggest thing with this show is the lack of build for most
Yes.
of the card. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think truthfully, I think it was probably the best match on the card.
Mhm. Okay.
So that's my take on that. I thought the wrong person won.
Mhm.
You know, Rhea didn't need it. Where does Raquel go from here?
I feel that. I understand that. I think, honestly, I think Rhea had to win this because, like you mentioned before, the women don't get as much exposure in Saudi. One that does is Rhea Ripley. And I think you can't book Rhea Ripley there where nobody, the most of the women's matches don't get recognized. Most of the women don't get recognized, and those the ones that do has to come out on top.
Mhm.
And for Rhea Ripley to have lost to a Raquel, not that Raquel is anything like a Rudy Poo or anything, but she is not as hyped up as a Rhea Ripley at this moment. And so I think Rhea had to win this for the women's division. Rhea has to be the face right now in Saudi for the women's division because they're not promoting him. These women don't get to shine. They don't get to, and when the one is doing it, we have to promote that up so people can maybe look more into the women's division. Like, okay, well, if Rhea's so great, what about the rest of them? We have to take steps along the way in Saudi. They are still learning and hopefully progressing with their, how they look at women and treat women in this in different industries. But for storyline, I do wish they would have promoted this because for a lot of people who did not watch NXT when Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez was in NXT, we don't know this history that they had. We didn't know this story that they were really good friends and they worked together and then they, you know, went their own different ways and came on different paths. But I wish they would have built that up. I wish they would have shown that
Mhm.
in the, as this beef was going on. Like, I wish we would have saw more backstage segments where Raquel was like, "Oh, you think you all that because now you mommy and da da da," and Rhea's like, "Oh, we used to be cool, but now we ain't cool no more, and now you gotta, you all up in my face." Like, I want to see that build up. I feel like this entire show was thrown together, to be honest. I think that's why everything feels very thrown together ish, because I feel like this entire show was thrown together and it was just like, okay, we got to do something in Saudi because we got a contract. So let's give them this show. Let's throw a couple of matches together and make a show for them. And it just felt that way. So I, I would not mind them spinning the block on this match again between Rhea and Raquel, but I need them to show the build up. Like, I need some tension. I need some, okay, you got me this one time, but
Mhm.
you know I'm always better than you. I've always been better than you, and because like, I need Raquel to lean into the fact that I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm this, and then Rhea comes back like, you couldn't even beat me with your friends. Like,
Right.
you had friends and you still couldn't beat me. So who's bigger? Who's stronger? Who's this and who's that? So I need that tension to build up. I think this could be a really good story for Rhea away from the belt because we do need to keep Rhea away from the belt for a while. So she don't need it right now. She don't need it right now. We don't need her in that conversation right now. So Raquel and Rhea, I like it. Let's keep this feud going for a while. And it can build, especially while Liv is gone. Raquel needs something. She needs a story because her story thus far has been being on the side of Liv. So we need Raquel to have a story. And I think this is the perfect story. Everything Liv can be like, I mean, Raquel, Rhea can be like, you just trying to be me. I start Judgment Day. Now you in Judgment Day trying to run Judge. Like, and Rhea and Raquel be like, you always knew in the back of your mind who was better. I'm better than you. I'm bigger than
Right.
you. I'm stronger than you. And it's just, I think a story could happen. Like I said, I don't mind them spinning the block with this one. Um, but Rhea had to win this match, in my opinion. That's why I chose her. But she had to win this match because she is the face in the WWE, the women's division, and in Saudi, she's the only one that is getting credit where credit is due and recognized as a woman in this industry. So I felt like she just had to be that winner to prop up the women's division. And sometimes we gotta use each other as a prop, and this is just one of those times.
And wearing a short sleeve shirt.
That's what I'm saying. Who gets away with that? Nobody else but Rhea Ripley.
Right.
So she had to win. Up next, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross. I did not think I was going to enjoy this match as much as I did. But let me just say you, Karrion Cross, I see you. I see you. I appreciate you. I respect you. Like, this match, not that all the stuff that Karrion Cross has been doing backstage, I have been like loving. I've been loving Karrion Cross backstage. I've been loving Karrion Cross online. I literally follow him now on Twitter because I want to see the things that Karrion Cross is going to do because I would like, he's taking the place of Drew McIntyre while Drew is chilling right now, and I
Hmm.
love that. But Karrion Cross is really, really impressive. He's really, really impressive. I really like this story that how he is backstage and lurking around and getting in people's heads and making. I think it's time to take the band-aid off and let's just push Karrion Cross a little bit more. Let's push him
Yeah.
some more. He deserves it. He deserves it. He's worked so hard. He's been giving us all these truths. And I don't know if y'all mad about the truth, but he's telling the truth. Ain't nothing he said been wrong about the company and how, everybody say, wait your turn, just wait your turn, just wait your turn. And then if it's not certain people, it's never your turn. And so I love this. And I love this match. I honestly, this was the one I wanted to be wrong on. This was the match I wanted to be wrong on. I know I said Sammy was going to win, and Sammy did win. But I wanted to be so wrong because I thought Karrion deserved it, but I just didn't think they were going to pull the trigger. And that's why I chose Sammy. And unfortunately, I was right. And I'm like, I hate that I was right about this because I wanted to be wrong because he deserved it.
Carrion is proof that you do not have to go over to get over, right?
Yep.
Like Carrion is absolutely killing it on the mic, killing it in the backstage segments, taking back bumps like crazy, showing that he can take a
He
back bump
can.
internet, you
Stop
know.
saying that.
My gripe with this match, I have one gripe. And that's
Okay.
kind of how I feel about each match, is that there's like one specific gripe that I have, right? And when Gunther won the World Heavyweight Championship
Mhm.
recently, how did Gunther win that?
He choked him out.
Choked him out. Right.
Hmm.
And when the referee checked on Jay's hand, the referee
Hmm.
just came over and checked on it and was like, oh, it's limp.
Yeah.
Ding, ding,
Right.
ding. That's
Right.
it. That is
Hmm.
how you just had a World Heavyweight Championship change hands using that finish.
Yep.
That is how it's been for like
That's how it's
years.
always
They
been.
haven't done the drop 1, 2, 3 in a long time, right? So for them to bring that back in this match, like it to me, just made the referee look silly, right? Like
Hmm.
Sami Zayn was out, his hand was limp. It dropped a full one time. It dropped a full second time, and
That's
then
it.
grabbed on the third. I didn't like that because it doesn't make sense logically anymore. We live in a day and age where we understand the UFC and all of that, and even though we understand that wrestling is a work and we're like playing into the work, I know I got a lot of rants tonight, but like that didn't make sense to me. It took me out of the match. That
Mm.
was the only thing that I'm like, how can you possibly? You just had less than a month ago a World Heavyweight Championship change hands with this exact finish, and that's it.
Yep.
So no,
That.
didn't like that segment, but I did love the finish of this match. I did love that Karrion Kross was getting a little bit too out of control of
Mhm.
himself with his anger for Sami Zayn, and that getting out of control was enough for Sami Zayn to get right in and boom, hell of a kick right there,
Right.
and take him out. So that was really good. But yeah,
Yes.
we don't do this anymore.
We
It's
don't
not.
do the three. We don't do the three anymore. Like,
No,
stop doing. Especially if you're not going to do it in a championship match. Don't do it in a no
right.
championship, no champion and state match. Like it's like, oh no, now we're going to do that again. For what?
Right.
For
Right.
why?
Exactly. It's not 1988.
No, no. Let's just if you're gonna look, it's check his lip. All right, he's out. Like, yeah. I love Sammy. I'm glad Sammy won, but I really want to carry him to win. This is the one I want to be wrong on. But and here's the one we were all wrong on. I don't.
Whew.
Here's the one we were all wrong on because everybody was like, Jacob is winning this match hands down. What we failed to realize here on the cup is that factions are continuing to be made, even within the bloodline. I'm, I will say this, and I don't know if anybody else agrees. They gagged me. They gagged me with this one. I
Yep.
was not expecting this. I was like, okay, sure, we'll get Jake. Was it JC or
JC Mateo.
JC? I said, we'll see him.
Yep.
Sure. we're supposed to see JC Mateo. I get it. But Jacob is going to do something, knock JC out. It's never going to be a problem. And then we'll go, he will go back and get the 1, 2, 3. Sure. They gagged me with this one
Mm-hmm.
because the match itself was going on. Jacob was doing, getting Solo, beating Solo down. Solo would come back a little bit, do some offense, and he doing his thing. It was a good back and forth for a little bit, but Jacob was out, just coming out doing what Jacob does. And I want to agree with you on something you said on the prediction. Jacob is my favorite favorite wrestler out right now. He is one of my favorites. I love Jacob Fatu as well.
Absolutely love the werewolf.
Love the werewolf. He eating. But he's doing his thing. JC Mateo comes out and I'm like, okay, expected that. That's gonna happen. Jacob handles that. And I'm like, cool. But then who is this? Who is this massive 6 something birth of a man?
7 foot tall.
Who is that? Who comes out of nowhere? And everybody's like, do you know who that is? I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. And then they tell us who it is, and I'm like, I still don't know who that is. All I know is he a big old person, and he's manhandling Jacob Fatu, and I'm pissed about it.
Mm-hmm. Tala Tonga.
Well, oh, we see him come back too, and I'm like, oh,
No,
okay, cool.
that's Tonga. That's Tama Tonga that came back. This guy is Tala
Right.
Tonga.
That's what I'm gonna say. Tama comes back too, and I'm like, oh, surprise! But Tama's back. Okay, I'm not mad at that. That makes sense too. Tama's back. Of course, he's gonna come back for Solo. I'm like, okay, cool. But then, like you said, the Tala Tonga,
Yeah.
I'm like, who is that? Who is
Michael Cole didn't know. He said Tala Tala Tima Tala Toa Toa. It's Tama Tonga Tonga. Take it. It's a Tongan.
It's a Tongan.
It's a very
Oh,
tall
God.
Tongan.
Oh my God. I was so gagged. I was like, I don't even know who this person is. And why is he here manhandling my boy like this? This is wild. Because I'm like, is Jimmy gonna come out and try to, even the numbers? But no, he's not there. And I'm like, okay, sure. Um, Nobody comes out for Jacob. Jacob is just getting manhandled by this tall dude. Solo wins. We got the Bloodline 3.0 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm you gagged in the triple right now.
There's so much that's happening right now, right? Because I'm Jacob Fatu's reign ending this soon is a disappointment, right? But Jacob Fatu does not need the United States Championship. I could see a world where Jacob Fatu goes to Raw and starts feuding with Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's a match I want to see. Jacob Fatu is ready for the big time, and I think he needs to separate from the bloodline. Now, also, Solo Sikoa, this is the way for him to win.
Yes.
This with surrounded by JC Mateo, Tonga's, the tall Tonga, the skinny Tonga, and the Tonga, all of the Tongas. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is how Solo being a champion is going to work out, because Solo is such a good heel, and Solo never having to win now, like Solo not winning in a fair manner and like never actually like winning, but then proclaiming like he's the best there is. Like, this is going to be good television, and it's going to make the United States Championship matter.
Yeah, absolutely. If we're gonna get a Solo win, this is how I want it. And in that press conference afterwards, prove to me why this is why Solo needed to win this way, and why Solo is going to, like you said, make this United States champion huge again. Like, he's so funny, and like he's going to be that kind of heel champion. Like you said, never has to win on his own, never has to win cleanly. Always is going to proclaim that he's so great, he's the best, and da 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 da. And he's so funny on the mic, like, just shut up. What are y'all talking about? Like,
What did he say?
like 4 letters,
One word.
you stop. Like, I'm like, you're so stupid. Like, he ain't even here. I don't know why y'all chanting it. He ain't even here. Like, this is what I needed from Solo. I am going to enjoy this United States run with Solo, and everybody's like, he don't even wrestle anymore. He don't have to win clean. No, he doesn't.
Doesn't.
And it's perfectly fine. And then one day, one of the Tongans, I go implode on him, and it's gonna be a whole tyranny, and he gonna take the belt. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
That's the way I want to see it happen. So yes, this was good. I was so mad that we were all wrong, and I was like, but it's okay because this is going to work out perfectly for a good story down the line.
They need to keep Tala Tonga strong. He needs to be a background
So dominant.
enforcer. Do not expose Tala Tonga in any fashion. Don't go putting him in a 20-minute SmackDown match right away, even though he's been training in Japan. Like, don't do that. Don't book him weak. Just let him be that
Right.
force, right? Like what they did with Omos,
Yes.
Omos for like
Omas.
the first
Hmm.
year with AJ Styles.
Yes.
That's what Tala can be. You know, I think his other name before here was like Hikilo, right?
Hmm.
Hikalu. I don't know.
I
Tall.
don't know,
The really
but
tall Tongan's name is
tall
Tala.
turn. I mean, that makes sense. He is
Well,
that. He's
little
taller
I
than look.
know,
Look,
little
he
I know.
taller than me. He taller than you. He
He's
taller than
tall
all of us.
because he's. Why do we call him Tala Tonga? Because he's
Because
taller
he's
than
taller than
you.
all of us. He's taller than you. He's taller than me.
That's
I,
great. They need to
I,
put you in the. You need to start writing these promos, Lana.
thanks. Love it. But yeah, Solo wins, and I'm not mad. I knew and knew. This is the yep, a championship that actually happened in
Yeah, a
Night of
championship
Champions.
changed hands at Night of Championships.
So good on that. Up next, we had our women's Queen of the Ring tournament. Jade Cargill versus Asuka.
This was good. This, you know, the I really thought Oscar was going to win because I thought that the building to Oscar versus Io Sky would have been great. But I felt like these two women did as best as they can in this match, and they, you know, it just unfortunately the crowd I don't think was familiar with Jade. I don't think they've seen enough of her. But uniform of the night goes to Jade Cargill because that
Yes,
looks amazing,
that
you
white was
know.
awesome.
And they still did a really good job. And you know what? I don't care. Like this is where the internet annoys me, right? Because why if she was just in a very back and forth solid match and Asuka took her to her limit, then of course she's not going to be able to stand up straight for her pinfall, right? She's exhausted. She was taken to the limit. So she fell down in exhaustion, but she still held on to the leg to get the pin.
Right.
That's my theory and I'm sticking to it.
Stick to it. Stand 10 toes down on that. I like this match. I thought it was a good match between the two. Like you said, I think both of them took each. I think Oscar took Jade to her limit. We seen Jade's growth throughout. You know, she still has some learning to do, I think, but she's been doing really well in these past few weeks. I enjoyed seeing Jade. Would have been nice to have Oscar versus EO. Yes. Do I think it can still happen? Oh, absolutely. I I don't know if Oscar needed to win this to get to EO because I think it can still happen anyway. But them giving this to Jade is only going to feed into what we've been waiting for in the Big Three showdown. Jade wins the
Mm-hmm.
championship, Naomi cashes it in. Something, Bianca wins something to have to go. Like, I just feel like we're going to get our Big Three wrestle match at some point. And I know Brooke was saying that he feels like they feel like it was too soon to pull to try to go get that match happening. I don't think so. I think this is what we've been waiting for since the big three got together. We've been waiting for Bianca and Jade showdown since Jade came into the Rumble last year and had that stare off with Bianca Belair. So we know we want that. And then you throw Naomi in the mix with this new character, it's going to be fire. Like, I don't care how you look at it, it's going to be fire. And by that time, yes, I want to see Jade. win her championship, and then just to have it snatched away from Naomi
Mm-hmm.
by Naomi, which is going to eat like, oh my God, let's go eat up. And then I don't know how we get Bianca in there, but it's got to be figure out a way to get Bianca in that showdown between Jade and Naomi, because they gonna go back and forth for this belt. I think I,
I just
go
want
ahead.
to see. I want to see Naomi hold on to the belt if she wins it.
Yes,
Don't want it to just be.
yes.
But yeah, I agree. I think the Jade beating Tiffy, and then Naomi cashing in, and or not even Jade beating Tiffy, but Naomi cashing in mid match and taking it. The fact that like it's like Jade's gonna have her moment, and Naomi's gonna take that from her is
Hmm.
almost like the best thing Naomi could do to Jade, right? Like in
Oh
in
yeah.
story purposes. Um,
Oh, I
yeah,
definitely need Jade to win it from Tiffany. Have it. And they announce Jade is the winner so Jade can have her moment. And then Naomi comes and snatches that moment right away from
steals it
Jade.
right
Be
away from
like,
her.
you took everything from me, and now I'm taking everything from you. Like, I need that to happen. Oof. Oof, I need that to happen. So I wasn't upset that Jade won this match. Because like I said, I think Oscar and EO can still happen without this match. What I didn't like is the way the crowd treated Jade afterwards was ridiculous, and how people online talking about Jade is ridiculous. Like, get off her sack.
Right.
She is eating and doing what she does, and it's good. And if you don't appreciate that from her, that's a you problem, and you need to think about why Jade winning is actually triggering you, because it's not about move sets and skill sets and
Right.
she's not doing this. It's something else. You need to dig deep down inside,
And
especially Saudi Arabia fans, because y'all had the same problem with Bianca Belair not too long ago. So I need y'all to think about why Jade and
mhm.
Bianca triggers you so much.
And these smart fans need to do one thing. It's called suspension of disbelief, right? Like if somebody just wrestled a hard fought match, they should be exhausted, right? Like there's a thing to it. You don't want in like your favorite movie that for somebody to just like all of a sudden, like get shot and then walk away like nothing's fine, like nothing was wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like suspension of disbelief. Buy in, believe what you're seeing, trust that what you're seeing is intentional and part of the show. Don't be like, oh, Jade can't even do her. It's her big moment and she can't even do her own pin correctly. Come on,
Yeah.
leave it alone. I was
She's
really upset
tired.
about that. Because
Yeah.
it. I did not in the moment feel like anything was quote unquote botched, you know.
Right.
And here's the thing too about a botch is that it is live entertainment. If you see it, it was meant to happen, right? Like that's it. There's no like you go to Broadway, you watch a theater show, you hear a line a certain way, you don't know that it's flubbed or not. Like there's no like it's not like that. You just it's happening. What you're seeing is what you're meant to see.
All right. Just enjoy it for what it is. Stop trying to
Yes.
analyze everything. And I feel like there's people out there that's looking for the mistakes, and it's like,
Correct.
why are we looking for the mistakes instead of just sitting back and enjoying the show?
Correct. Like you could talk about the mistakes of the booking, you could talk about mistakes in the story, you could talk about mistakes, but like to yeah, it's very frustrating because I feel and like I felt like the same thing happened with Tiffy and Charlotte
Mm.
at WrestleMania, where it's like the I feel like the women are looked at with the freaking microscope,
Yep.
and they're graded much harsher than the men, and they're not given the opportunity to have the liberties to be able to have a match that is supposed to look rough, is supposed to look sloppy, is supposed to look, exhausted, right? It's called
Mhm.
selling. you know?
Welcome to the world of being a woman, Topher. This is just a microcosm of what it actually feels like in the world because we can't make mistakes, or you're not doing enough, or you're doing too much, you're not doing enough. You're assertive, you're a bitch. If you're you're not assertive, you're weak and you're emotional. And it's just a lot of pressure trying to, I don't know, get over in this male dominated world because people always have such opinions on the
Mhm.
women and not the same. Like we've seen botches in men's wrestling too, but we don't get them called out as much and we don't talk about it as much. It's like, oh well, he covered that up. What do you mean? We saw it,
Right.
but we don't call it out. So it's just interesting. But I say, Jade, you do this, you did the doggone thing, and I thought it was a good match overall. Period. And finally, this match here. John Cena versus CM Punk. Now, this match I think had the best build up of the night going into Night of Champions, and that is because the caliber of talent between CM Punk and John Cena.
Yep.
I don't think John Cena or nor CM Punk would ever go into a match where there's not really a good, like,
Bill.
and then well, a good build, and then the history that these two have with each other. It's like, yeah, they used that. They focused on that. I wish they could have did that with other people, but this match had the build up that we were looking for, even all the way up until the night before
Yes.
On SmackDown when
Oh,
CM Punk came out in John Cena's Thugonomics music and outfit. I literally screamed. It was
that
like,
was
oh my God, this is so good. Right after Pipe Bomb John Cena last week and into this one this week, it's just
I want more. I want more Cena versus Punk.
I want them to run it back. Like run
Right.
it back again. And I want them to run it back and Seth Rollins stay the freak away from it. Honestly. I was enjoying this match a lot, and I get why Seth and Nolin were out there. I understand the whole purpose, but I need them to run it back, and let's keep Seth and them away from this match. That one, the next match, because I want to see the John Cena CM Punk match just play out for itself.
Okay. Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on some things, but I do disagree with you on one thing.
Okay.
I I felt like I loved the Seth Rollins being involved portion
Okay.
because but I did not like the additive of Sami Zayn and of Penta, and like I know you needed to get Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman out of there, but like
Not Braun
I
Strowman,
sorry,
B-
Braun
Breaker.
Breaker. Oh my god, the bronze, too many bronze.
The Braun Strowman.
Where's they calling him Braun right now? Bronson Reed and Braun. Yeah, but yeah. So okay, I liked that it was I'm calling a referee and then boom, it's Seth Rollins. There's story there, there's history there between Punk and Rollins, and the match between Punk and Cena was great up until that point,
Yes.
right? Even to the whole like, let me second guess if I'm gonna hit you with the belt, which was the second time that was done that night, which means that like, why did Randy Orton do it in the first match? But okay. So he goes to hit him with the belt, but then with Seth Rollins coming out there, and then boom, you've got big Bronson Reed, and you've got big Braun
Braun
Breaker,
Breaker.
beating the ever loving tar out of these men, and
Hmm.
then Seth Rollins going for it. I just it led also to like one of the best spots too of Charles Robinson running down the ramp and John Cena just shoulder
Kicking him
tackling
up.
him. Rip
Yeah.
Charles Robinson. But you take away all of the mess, then we get Sami Zayn and we get all that. We didn't need that. If we could have just figured out a way to get Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker out of the ring and away from the ring to have the finish that they had, because that was the
Hmm.
most creative finish they could have had. You had
Yeah.
Seth going for it. He hits Punk with the briefcase, hits Punk with the stomp, and then boom, Cena just chucks Seth out of the ring and steals the pin. It's the most heel victory John
Yes.
Cena has had.
Yes.
Like that was a chicken heel and a
Yeah.
move, and that was great. Like
Yeah.
it, if there's a
Yeah.
way, so that aspect I loved. I didn't like all the hoopla. I didn't like the whole bloodline rules of it all, of like we're hitting everybody's entrance music and things of that nature. But this was a really good match, and I did really like the finish. Middle of it, I could have done without with the extra people, but like Seth trying to cash in,
Yeah.
and John Cena ruining that.
Yes. That part, okay. I did like that. I will agree with that. That part, the Seth was involved. I think it was the middle part, the like you said, the Braun Breaker, the Bronson Reed, and the Penta and Sami Zayn of it all. I was like, this is a little much. I don't. It's too much. And then like I don't know how you get the bronze away from the ring without somebody coming out to interfere or whatever or to help, but it's just still felt a little like okay, whatever.
Right.
But that ending was amazing, and that was the kind of ending we want to see on Heel Cena. I feel like Heel Cena is still not heel enough.
Right.
If you know what I mean, like he's still on the cusp of being heel Cena, and that full. I think this is a path forward that I like. What, like you said, he's taking the easy route. He let the other dude do the work, and then Chuck Seth Rollins out, and then he gets the
Yep.
pin. I love that. I need more victories like that from John Cena in this heel run. So it can be a really convincing heel run. And if he decides to go in the end and change it all up at the last minute and he becomes face again before he leaves, I'll take it. I just want to make sure it's done in the best way. And I feel like this was in the path in the right direction. So
Yeah.
I agree with you about that. I do like that. And yeah, John Cena winning made sense. I knew he was going to win. I know y'all were thinking CM Punk could win. I'm like, nope, not at the end. He has a whole few more months to go before he's giving up that title. So every match John Cena is in from this point out until maybe December, he's
Now,
winning.
now, here's the thing: do we get John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, or does Cody Rhodes face Gunther?
I think Punk going to go to get John Cena and Cody Rhodes again. I think they're gonna rerun it back.
I
Um,
don't want them
and I
to.
think Cody's. I don't really particularly need them to, honestly.
No.
I would rather see Cody fight somebody else, but I kind of feel like it's gonna be John and Cody
Well,
again. And
because here's my argument, right? Like this is the way I feel that of why I don't want them to. The only bad match John Cena has had since coming back was against Cody Rhodes. Every other match has been like a 5-star banger.
hmm
Randy Orton, great. The
Yep,
Royal Rumble, great. The Elimination Chamber,
great.
fantastic.
Hmm.
Even the tag match with Logan Paul and Jey Uso added
It's
to the
pretty
mix. Oh
good.
my
It's a
God,
really
that
good
was
match.
incredible. That was wild. This was a really good match, even with the shenanigans involved. It was still, but a great match. The only person John had a bad match with was Cody. So it's like, do you really want to run that back in front of your, in the middle of a 2-night SummerSlam,
All
in
right,
front of a MetLife Stadium? Yeah.
all right. I know. I would rather see Cody fight Gunther. To somebody who elevates Cody a little bit because Gunther is going to give you a banger of a match every single time. So
Right.
I would love to see Cody fight Gunther. But I don't think they're going to do it because I think they're going to feel like the draw is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena is the draw, and if Cody Rhodes versus Gunther won't be a draw. And it gives my question: if you don't feel like your champion is a draw, why is he champion? Because you know who was drawing people? Jay Uso, but y'all took the belt off and gave it back to Gunther. So if you don't feel like Gunther is the draw, why
Yep.
are we giving him the belt?
Because
And
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso had a fantastic King of the Ring qualifier or whatever
yeah,
semifinal.
yeah, semifinal.
Yeah.
Great. Why couldn't we do that? If Jay still had the belt, we could have Jay Uso versus Cody at the SummerSlam, and that'd be great.
Yep.
That would have been great. But no, we take it off of Jay and we give it to Gunther, but we don't feel like he's the draw. And I'm
Yep.
like, why are we giving a belt to somebody who I don't believe is draw? And guess what? Gunther is not the draw. We love Gunther. Everybody appreciates Gunther as a wrestler, and we like his matches. He's a beggar, but he's not drawing the people.
He's Gunther isn't There's no story there.
Right.
That's the problem with Gunther, is the lack of story. You know, like every other superstar can tell a story. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I would like to see John Cena refuse Cody Rhodes' challenge, right?
Ooh.
Like that would be good. Because I get you again. You book John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, okay? And where do you go from here? John Cena can't lose.
Can't lose.
You can't lose here at SummerSlam, and then you got 3 more months left of your retirement tour. What are you doing? Come on,
Right.
you know. And then Cody Rhodes can't lose either.
Or people would just be like, your reign was a fluke. Well, why are you even here? Like, he needs to go back to the back of the line if he loses again. And it's
Yeah.
like, they're not gonna do that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if we need to rerun it back with John Cena and Cody. I would prefer it not to be, but I don't think they're gonna do Cody and Gunther because,
Mm-mm.
like we said, it's not a draw.
Maybe they'll do a multi-man match. Triple H loves multi-man matches. So I could see SummerSlam being a great reason to do a fatal four-way. You know, you got uh, maybe Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus CM Punk, or
Versus
even
the
Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso versus John Cena. You know, if there's any number of combination of people you could throw into a multi-man match that I think would make this match palatable and give us
Mhm.
an out. Give us an out because you can have somebody else to take the pen.
Right, right. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that was not a champion job. Overall, what do you give the show? What's your ranking on the show?
Oh man, like it was honestly, I really enjoyed myself watching it. I you know, some of the decisions, yes, we disagreed with and we ranted on in here, but like is it, you know, like is it something that I would be like, let me go back and watch this? Probably not. But I would
Right.
still say this is a solid 7.5. It's not quite an 8, but it's definitely higher than a 7.
Okay. I agree with you. I enjoyed watching it. I don't think it's a rewatchable show, but it was enjoyable moments in the show. So I probably could rewatch a couple of different matches of the show, but maybe
Yes,
not the entire show.
correct.
Um, but it's certain pay-per-views that I'm like, I can watch this whole pay-per-view over and over again and it's always gonna be good. But this one is not one of those. There's only a few certain moments in this night that I'm like, okay, I will be watching it again. But I enjoyed watching it overall, so
Yeah.
I probably would give it a 7
If
ish.
they released a like a John Cena's final run, you know,
Hmm.
playlist next year,
Hmm.
I wouldn't skip this match.
No,
You know,
no.
so that's kind of where I stand on it.
Yeah, I think this one is the probably one of the better ones. I think, like you said, Cody's will be at the bottom of the list for me. That's thus far, if in the rankings, because that was not a good match. But I will put this one up higher, in the last final run matches. But that's all, folks. That's it. That's all for us. We have talked enough about Night of Champions. We're gonna put it to bed because we got SummerSlam coming up. So, oh, and before that,
Now,
we got Evolution coming up. That's what I'm looking forward to. We got Evolution coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll be back talking about Evolution. I am so excited because I need them to do the women right this time. I'm nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little nervous because for some reason Triple H don't know how to book these women because they've been
well,
booked.
we've already got a match on the cards for the women's world championship.
Oh, well, okay, okay. Well, we'll talk all about that. I honestly saw somebody say something, and I agree with them 100%. They were like, Triple H, I need you to step aside and bring Shawn Michaels in to book this women's revolution because he cooking over there in NXT with the
Yep.
women's division. So I feel like Shawn Michaels should run the women's division. Let him cook. Bring
NXT
him
is the
in.
women's division of all wrestling.
Yes, NXT has the best women's division, and Shawn Michaels is eating up. So I kind of feel like we need to I mean, we can find somebody else to run NXT if you need to, if Sean don't want to run both women's, NXT and the women's division on the main rosters. But I need Shawn Michaels to run the women's division on the main rosters. I need him to be the person to run the women's division on the main roster because he is eating in the women in NXT. And we have such great talented women in both divisions. Like, we have the women, you just got to book them correctly. So I kind of let's let Shawn Michaels run this PLE. Like, let him do it, and
Agreed.
he'll probably make that night look. So that's just me personally. I think we need to let him do it. But we'll be back talking about Evolution in a couple weeks, so we can talk about all of that, and then we're gonna get gearing up for SummerSlam, our first 2 night SummerSlam event. So we're gonna talk about all of that and how we feel about that. But we'll talk about it. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. Follow us on this channel. Please subscribe to help us reach our goal of the dog say it is time to go, baby. I get you. I hear you, dogs. It's time to go, baby. We subscribe to this channel, all of our other channels at the Cup Pod, the Cup TV, the Cup ESC, and the Cup Ringside. Please subscribe to all of those channels. Follow us on our audio podcast links. All those links will be in the description below, as well as our Patreon. Follow all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And don't forget to pick up your merch, your mug at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. Topher does have one, by the way, just never shows it, and it's okay. We'll get your cup mug, and we're gonna get out of here. So we'll see y'all next time. So cheers, y'all. Bye.